Two, three. Hi everybody, my name is Liam Phillips and today I'm talking with my friend and co-facilitator in consciousness, somebody who has had a great impact, dynamic impact on my body and my life, and that of course is Shannon O'Hara. So welcome, Shannon.
Hello. Thank
How
you.
you doing?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me.
Cool. Well, thanks for putting this time aside for this. Um, when we talked about creating this Google Hangout, we said what should we call it, and what came up was a conversation in the creation of energy. And when you said that, my molecules started, my whole body started to vibrate, and I went, wow, that's such a cool title. But what does that actually mean? A conversation in the creation of energy?
Well, I know that what we had originally looked at doing was getting together and giving people some information and some energy on like what these access consciousness classes are that we do, and specifically the ones that I'm coming down to New Zealand to do.
Woo!
And yeah, yeah, and so one of them is a Talk to the Entities introduction evening, and the bigger one is the 3-day body class. And we could talk about the body processes till the cows come home, about how amazing they are for the body, how many miracles people have had with them, and what a contribution they are. And then there's also the energy that becomes present to everybody in these classes. And most people really, from my perspective and what I've gathered, is that a lot of people aren't walking around with a huge amount of access to energy. And what I mean by energy is the building blocks of the universe. And that is scientific, that what everything is made of is energy. And how oftentimes do people feel that they're connected to, that they are in creation with the energy of the universe, rather they feel at the effect of, or that they don't have a choice, or they don't know how to change things. And so these classes, and really every access class, gives people the access to the energy of the universe and the creation of what they would like to create. And that, in this specific conversation today, I think we're primarily going to talk about that in regards to bodies, which is an area that a lot of people I know feel quite helpless in, quite confused in. And I would love to introduce a energy of possibility with bodies and a joy with bodies that I think is gravely lacking on Earth.
Yeah, that joy with bodies. When I first came into Access, as most people well know, I had a sickness, a terrible sickness, and you with the body processes work quite a lot with my body. But the body processes are not just about being able to create wellness in your body. It's more than that, isn't it? It's more of this expansion into the universe and not feeling separate inside your body like an island away from everything else.
Right. Well, what's so interesting about the access, what's so interesting as I've accessed more and more of the consciousness of my body, which is ultimately what we do in these classes, I've discovered that I had no clue what the consciousness of the body was, and that the body had an awareness, had a consciousness, had a vocabulary, had a language, and that in the willingness to have that communication or communion or relationship with my body, I had no idea what that actually would be like. And it's something that's very difficult to explain to people. It's sort of like explaining the color yellow to a blind person. You have to see it to know what it is. And oftentimes, by running these body processes, people gain this awareness, this consciousness that very few people seem to realize exists, me included before I started doing them, that once you have it, oh my God, what a completely different universe. And life with body actually starts becoming pleasure rather than the endless pain or the shame or the judgment that really is the more popular point of view about bodies in this day and age, unfortunately.
Mm. Yeah. When right at the beginning of our conversation here, I was saying that when we came up with the title for this Google Hangout, my body started vibrating and tingling. Perhaps you could talk a little bit about how we access our bodies with regards to the awareness that's coming through them. And
Yeah,
what would that
absolutely. Absolutely. So it's like, I mean, I think the first question and the first part of the conversation would have to be, is your body aware?
Yes,
And
mine is.
you know, and it's like every body is aware. It's like every molecule in the universe is aware, and that includes our body. And are we educated and raised to honor, respect, and utilize the consciousness of the body, or are we mostly taught to ignore it? And so what you were talking about, yeah, it's like what you were talking about with your molecules singing. It's like, I know, it's like you've done, just for everyone's information, it's like Liam has done years and has done quite a few years of access classes and the body processes, and I know that you really made it a conscious choice in your life to really practice these tools and really work on yourself. And have you accessed and gained a sense of possibility with the body and an awareness of the body's communication that wasn't there before?
Oh, totally. And what's been really fun for me is that it's an ongoing process as well. And every time I do a body process, even if I'm just swapping with a friend, I have more awareness than before the body process, and my body starts to change, and I can act. I've always got this friend, my body, with me now, whereas before it was always something I sort of dragged around or pushed around.
Yeah, and that's an incredible distinction to make, that your body becomes your friend. And that's not necessarily where everyone needs to go with the body processes, and that's not necessarily what everyone will gain from the body processes. And what people get is what people get, and there is this incredible consciousness that you can only gain through the body. And that's what's really interesting. It's like we've been told through religion and metaphysics and for so many centuries that the body is, you know, the sin, and the body is the, you know, the pile of shit that keeps you limited, and that makes it so you're not a expanded, conscious, infinite, supreme being, and you need to lose your body in order to be free. And the thing that I think is so fantastic is like what Gary Douglas says, who's the founder of Access. He says, you know, it's like in order to truly be free, you have to get the greatness of embodiment.
Mm.
And so when you, and so like when you perceived, as you call it, your molecule singing, when we discussed what we should call this talk, this Google Hangout, when you perceived this, occur cellularly in your universe and in your body, that is the beginning of accessing the greatness of embodiment. And so embodiment is not just your body, it's all reality. And that's even what science tells us, is that we're connected to, we're part of every molecule in the universe on a cellular level. And that's not theoretical, that's literal. And so what if you could access the consciousness of all of the energy, all of the molecules of the universe? Would you, number one, be more creative in that? Number two, what would you like to create? Number three, are you already connected to all the consciousness in the universe and pretending that you're not? And what is the consciousness of the universe saying to you, singing to you, pulling you into, asking you to be, asking you to create, and guiding you to all the time that you maybe ignore, or you have made yourself so fixed and rigid that you literally can't perceive it, but it comes through in all these weird ways? And what if you never had a sickness in your body or an accident with your body? It was literally your way, then the universe's way of waking you up to consciousness. So what consciousness is available through embodiment, through the embodiment of all reality and all consciousness. And I know that seems theoretical and sort of is like a thing, like what does that even mean? So it's like, what if there is a level of consciousness available, and this will be just something I will propose, what if there is a level of consciousness available that allows you to be the changer of all reality, not at the effect of all reality? And everything that doesn't allow that, let's destroy and uncreate it.
Yes, definitely.
Right, Rod. Good battle, 9 puck shirts, boys and beyonds.
Well, thank you so much for that clearing. When we were talking earlier on, and you were saying it's difficult to talk about this sort of stuff, you've got to sort of experience the awareness through your body. I don't know quite what my question is there. One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you about this particular subject is that you do have this capacity to put into words about the body processes and how to access the body. So if we were talking to people who were blind and telling them what the colour yellow was, what would you say about accessing your body?
Cool. So it's like, what has your body been telling you all your life, and what is the vocabulary of the body that you haven't acknowledged yet?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, with the body processes, I know that the reason why they're so difficult to talk about is because literally the language of the body is very different than the language of the mind. And we have words to describe the language of the mind, but when it comes to the language of the body, we have sensation. Mm-hmm. And so we can describe these sensations as pleasurable or painful, hot, cold. We have these words, but then there is so much beyond that there isn't a vocabulary for. That's this presence of consciousness that the body has, that has a vocabulary and has a language. It just isn't a mental one. And so for me, what's been going on, since I do facilitate a lot of these body classes, I have received a lot of these body processes over the years. What's been going on for me a lot recently is actually getting cognitively or gaining awareness of the body's vocabulary or the body's consciousness that's always been there, but I've never cognitized it or recognized it. And so that's given me this whole other universe that if I will be present with it, I can create, I can be, I can have a level of pleasure and joy, not just with my body, but my body, my being, the earth, all other bodies that I think for the most part people only understand as a dream or a fantasy. And so this becomes a reality. Joy with body actually becomes a reality. The communion with the earth, which is ultimately our big body, becomes a reality, and we no longer feel separate from everything and everyone, rather in communion. Which, as I say these things, I realize they sound quite grand, but ultimately, if you're going to get conscious, that's part and parcel of it. And so with Access, we have all the verbal clearing processes, which are incredible for shifting your points of view, your decisions, the places where you have psychologically come to a stuck place. And then we have the body processes, which allow you to access something that only the body processes allow you to access. And so it's interesting that the body has to come with us on the journey of consciousness. The body isn't a problem. It's actually an incredible creative companion for consciousness. And if that will be honored, oh my gosh, what could we create in the world?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that's been coming up, I just wrote it down, was, is everybody going to get the same sort of awareness through their body, or is every body and every being totally different? How does that work?
Well, it's been in my experience watching people change. It's like initially when they come and they do the body process, they just feel better. Like that's the initial thing, they feel better. Their body feels better in many, many, many ways. And then the more and more they go, they start basically destroying or deassembling what has been sticking them. And I mean, just yesterday I was like, I was having a bad hair day about work and about my business, and I was really cranky about certain things that's going on with my website and with other parts of the business, and I was really bent out of shape about it, and I kept on processing myself and asking questions and asking questions and asking questions, and it was so weird because it didn't totally shift until I had my husband, Max, who is also an Access facilitator and does a lot of these body processes. He put his hand on my back and he just started running energy on me, and finally I was like, oh, okay, there I am. Okay, there's my universe, there's my reality. So it's through the honoring, the caring for the body that comes this also clarity of being and awareness with the mind. So what people get, I mean, for me, I know what I've gotten. I've gotten this ability to be aware with my body that I didn't realize existed. And I know what other people get is, number one, healthier. Absolutely, that's like a side effect. That's like not even really even the that's not even the good stuff. It's like the healthy part is like the side effect. The good stuff is consciousness. And I think that that's something that very few people understand what it really is, and it's very difficult to explain because, like I said, it's sort of like explaining the color yellow to a blind person. You have to actually see it, experience it, perceive it, receive it, choose it in order to get it and to have it. So I know what's possible with these body processes and the depth of transformation and clearing and change that they facilitate. Not only for us, and that's what's so weird. It's like we change, our bodies change, but the earth also changes.
Oh,
Everyone else is.
when you said
Yeah.
that, my body just relaxed into the chair.
And that's right. And it's like, because we're all connected, when we shift, we are the source for transformation in the universe. We are the source for transformation in the universe. So when we shift and transform, when we use these incredible tools and processes of access and with our own consciousness, everything changes. And like I stated earlier in this conversation, the body is the earth. Without the earth, we wouldn't have these bodies. Without the earth, we wouldn't have these bodies. Without these bodies, the earth would exist just fine without us. So the earth is really our host. Our bodies are just organisms of the earth. They're not separate from the earth. And so as we heal and change, as we honor and strengthen our embodiment and our willingness to be connected to our body and our willingness to have a body, which for a lot of people is a struggle even just to have a body, the more willing we are to have a body, to honor the body, and to care for the body, then too also does the earth become stronger, healthier, more honored. And that's where we can begin to have these huge experiences of consciousness with the consciousness of the earth, which isn't even metaphysical, spiritual, or woo-woo. It's really common sense. There has to be a connection of consciousness with the earth. Otherwise, the earth, as it is right now, will suffer and die, and our bodies will go with it. So this isn't really like a let's all massage each other, sing songs, and feel better. This is okay, so we're going to have to change something on earth, and a lot of people know this. What if the change actually begins within us? And so what can we access with our hands? What can we access with our being? And what can we access with our choices that will transform everything in reality? And everything that doesn't allow that, and everything that doesn't allow that to be easy, let's destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
Right, Runga, Battle 9, Pod Pack Shirts, Boys Beyonds.
That kindness and
Cool.
caring
Cool.
created during the body processes, like it just transforms, or not transforms, but expands out and includes the planet.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit? I know we've only got 5 minutes or so. Could you talk a little bit about the kindness and caring that's created with these body processes?
Well, I remember years ago, actually, you came to California and were staying at my house in Santa Barbara years ago. And I had asked you if you would work on me, and you did, and you were working on me, and I remember at one point you were on the front of my shins, and it was the most peace I have ever had in my life. It was, and then you got to my shins, I perceived this incredible peace, and then I sort of went away into like the sleeping, processing, whatever place that is, where our body goes into deep relaxation and deep rest. And it was the greatest peace I had ever felt. And that was you facilitating that, and that was the body processes facilitating that. And I would love to see a world where we literally can touch one another and heal and change everything that isn't working.
That's so cool that we have these processes where we can learn to use our hands and the energy that we be, the creation of energy that we can create to facilitate other bodies, our bodies, the planet, and consciousness.
And to learn how to receive with your body, too. I mean, that's a huge thing that I think is one of the greatest gifts we have with the body is the pleasure of receiving with the body, which, for the most part, so many people don't do. They shut their bodies down, they shut receiving down because they've either been abused, right? They've been so abused that they think that anything that they're going to get with their body is going to be an abuse. Or they've been judged so dynamically that they think that their body's awful, terrible, disgusting, and so on and so on and so on. It's like there's just so much physical sickness that goes on in regards to the body. So I love to see people relax, let down their barriers, let their bodies actually breathe and receive and be present and like be part of their lives. Because I know that if you have a body, if you're not letting it be part of your life, if you're not receiving with it, if you're not enjoying it, you're living like half a life. I know that people are suffering from the lack of enjoyment of the body. And I don't mean enjoyment like go out and like, you know, do drugs and get out of control and like be crazy manic. I mean enjoyment, truly enjoying a body, enjoying to be able to eat with your body, enjoying being able to feel the wind in your hair, the sun on your skin, the lovely caress of a gentle, caring friend, the incredible sensations that we get with the body that is part of consciousness. It is part of the reality that's available here for us on Earth, the joy of embodiment, if we will have it. Imagine if everyone was actually had a happy body. Imagine if everyone had a happy body. And everything that doesn't allow everyone to So everything that doesn't allow everyone to have a happy body, and for those who refuse to be happy with their bodies, to leave their bodies and go move on to what it might be better for them, let's, you know, destroy it and create all that. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, mans. You know, and it's not a conversation about that you need to enjoy having a body or you need to be happy with a body. It's like, what is it that you know is possible? What is it that you'd like to change? Is there anything that you'd like to change? And if so, please join us. Please come join us in Nelson, New Zealand for the Talk to the Entities introduction, which we didn't get much to here, but there is a lot of information on the web about Talk to the Entities and stuff like that. I'll talk about beings without bodies, and then the next day we'll get in class and start working with beings with bodies and really start honoring those bodies, respecting those bodies, and accessing the power and the potency that these bodies really do have. So I hope you come and join us. It's going to be incredible. I guarantee you I will be there for whatever shows up.
In order to participate in the body class, you need to have done Barza Foundation Level 1.
Right. Logistics. Yes.
Yes. So if you do require that, there's one in Nelson the weekend beforehand, facilitated by yours truly. But
if you don't miss out on one of Liam's classes, he's an incredible, brilliant facilitator.
Yeah, thank you. And there are also some body processes in the Foundation Level 1, which will start that process before you even get to the 3-day body class. So we'd love to have you in Nelson, New Zealand. So book your tickets, and we'll put the sign-up links on here somewhere. I don't know where yet. And I'd just like to say thank you so much, Shannon, for joining me today in a conversation in creation of energy. What else is possible, my beautiful friend? And I'm looking forward very much to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Liam. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.